Some of the older peeps might remember this, but back in the day, this channel used to have a huge focus on Dark Souls PvP and Dark Souls in general. I've gotten rid of most of those videos, but you can still find a small handful of them here and about the channel. But the point I'm trying to make is, I'm an old hand at the Souls games, and I really like these games. I have all the achievements in Dark Souls 1, 3, and Bloodborne, but my biggest bragging right is that I'm part of the exclusive country club that played the original Demon Souls. You see, despite being the eldest sibling, Demon Souls was the runt of the litter. Because of this, the die-hard Demon Souls aficionados called for ports or even a full-blown remake. And a few years later, it happened. Yes, indeed. As a launch title for the PlayStation 5, a complete remake of Demon Souls came out. Freed from the clutches of Atlas, the title was given to Bluepoint Studios to make a finer Demon Souls, with updated graphics, music, mechanics, and quality of life changes. What an amazing looking game that I'm probably not going to be able to play for some time. Yeah, here's the problem, your boy broke. I don't have the kind of money to blow on a new console just for one game. Still, I'm very excited about it, and if I can't discuss the gameplay or do a let's play on it, there's still one thing I can discuss. The aesthetic. Demon Souls Remake is the most visually impressive console game to date. However, among the tighter-knit parts of the Souls community, it's actually a matter of contention of whether this is an improvement or not. OG Demon Souls stands right next to Bloodborne as having the most unique art direction compared to any other Souls game. The color palette is very muted, it's mostly gray and a lot of desaturated colors, not a lot of contrast. The movement is slow and clunky and the soundtrack is slow and atmospheric. It's more suspense-built than epic and bombastic. There's also things like fog and mist everywhere, and what little light there is very dull and blunt without a whole lot of sharp shadows or contrasts. The slowness and hauntedness of the atmosphere is very oppressive, and it's something unique to Demon Souls. No other game in the series has had a similar feel like it. This was the biggest appeal of the original Demon Souls that all the die-hard fans latched onto, myself included. And it understandably made them very upset when the remake was nothing like that at all. The Demon Souls remake is a very sharp contrast. There's more saturated colors that pop out to you. The music is orchestral and intense, and every track in the game has a choir against it. It's basically Demon Souls, but with the same skin that all the Dark Souls games after it had. The soul, if you pardon the pun, was sort of wrenched out of the Demon Souls in the remake. Another thing that disappointed a lot of the fans were they were hoping stuff that wasn't in the OG Demon Souls would be added in the remake, such as the Reinforced Club, which is what I'm very disappointed about personally. Why is there no Reinforced Club in the game? When Miyazaki sat down and thought to himself how he was going to evolve Demon Souls into Dark Souls, he made this essential change. The Reinforced Club. It was perfect. It was majestic. It was a symbol of everything the Dark Souls series has stood for. The Reinforced Club is an essential part of the Dark Souls experience. It's been added in every single game since the original Dark Souls, and you know, the fact that Bluepoint didn't add it to the Demon Souls remake? Big mistake. Big mistake. But you know, there's a chance they'll add it as DLC later, along with the 6th Archstone and Armor of Dennis. I can't believe they didn't add Armor of Dennis. But we're here to talk about the aesthetics of Demon Souls, and I think the easiest way to highlight the contrast between the remake and the original is the Storm King boss. Now this is what it's like in the remake. The Storm King, this giant manta ray looking motherfucker, comes flying out of the clouds, and there's thunder and lightning and rain everywhere, and these miniature baby manta rays detach from them and go flying around everywhere, and you look up and you see that the Storm King is silhouetted against the large lightning clouds, and all the while there's babies flying everywhere, and you make a mad dash across the arena all the while as you being shot up babies, and you pick up the Storm Ruler and use it to beat the shit out of all those babies, and then the Storm King comes flying down, and oh my god, you beat the Storm Ruler with the Storm King, and all the while shooting more babies at you, and there's this intense orchestra going on in the background, the conductor's waving his orchestra stick like a madman, all the while the lightning is shooting out of his eyes. Now compare that to the original Storm King. There is no rain and thunder, and the Storm King's theme is slow and suspenseful. It's like a looming thunderstorm creeping along, getting larger and louder as it approaches. It gives more of a sense of scale to the Storm King, as when it comes gliding over, its massive size causes the entire ground to shake. The idea behind the fight is more that you are completely inconsequential to this massive creature who is enormous compared to you. It doesn't even care that you exist until you've killed enough of the storm beasts. The Storm King is the manifestation of a thunderstorm. It's larger than life, it's loud, and it's huge, and it doesn't care whether you exist or not. Now, which one is the definitive Storm King? Well, that's a trick question. The answer is the Storm King is the friends we made along the way. Problem is you can't really compare these two fights because they're supposed to give a different experience each time. The OG Storm King is thoughtful and reflective, but the new Storm King is supposed to be intense and exciting. While I personally like the vibe of the OG Demon Souls, it's not like the remake betrays the characterization either. Storms can be exciting and thrilling. That seems to be the running theme in the Demon Souls remake. They're taking all the pre-established characters, worlds, and bosses, and then showing them from a different enough angle that it fits into the more bombastic setting. However, there is one instance where this doesn't actually work very well. And I know what you're thinking, and no, it's not actually Maiden Estrella. Maiden Estrella is easily the most tragic character in all the Dark Souls franchise, and that's saying a lot. She's got tough competition. Despite not having a single evil bone in her body, she's been cursed to become an archdemon, and even after becoming a demon, she still works to improve the lives of those around her. The theme is reflective of this tragedy of her circumstances, as both Jarl Vinland, her bodyguard, and Estrella plead for you to turn back.
Leave us, Slayer of Demons. This is a sanctuary for the lost and wretched. There is nothing here for you to pillage or plunder. Please, leave quietly.
How dare you persist in intruding upon our haven? You abandoned us long ago. What right do you have? We live humble lives. Leave us be.
But you can't. She's an archdemon, so if the world's to be saved, she's gotta die. Her theme is very heroic now and very epic and orchestral as everything else, and understandably, that's made people upset. But Bluepoint's pulled a sneaky on us. The music is dynamic with the boss fight. Once you kill Jarl Vinland, the music becomes sad and somber like the original Maiden Estrella theme. The heroic bits were more of Jarl Vinland's theme than Estrella's theme. Now that being said, I'm not happy with this change either. I don't think Jarl Vinland himself is an interesting enough opponent to warrant his own theme, but here we are. So who do I have a problem with? This guy. Yeah, this guy. Am I the only one who liked the original Dragon God fight? The idea behind it was actually pretty cool. This big scary dragon guy is way too powerful to fight head on. After all, he killed you in one hit during the tutorial. So because he's too big, deadly, and scary, you need to sneak around and not be seen by him, finding a new way to take him down or at least weaken him to the point where you can hit him a couple of times. The original Dragon God theme sounded like Hollow the Mountain King. It was perfect sneaking music. The new one? But I mean, who cares? It's the Dragon God. This guy, Flame Lurker. All eyes were on this guy. He's the big epic boss. The atmospheric music for him is not so fitting. So when you hit him with that, that makes all the difference. And people seem to like this change. Oh yeah, and speaking of glow-ups, I love the new 𝓐𝓮𝓼𝓽𝓮 theme. It's easily my favorite in the remake. Look, I love the suspenseful organs of the original 𝓐𝓮𝓼𝓽𝓮 theme as much as the next guy, but this song is fantastic. One of my favorite parts of the song though is the slow piano part right here. It's epic and cool, but at the same time has this melancholy air around it, and I think that's an aspect of Allant's character that a lot of people forget. Speaking of King Allant, his redesign is something I've heard a lot of complaints about. The original 𝓐𝓮𝓼 had an angled face, pointy ears, cracked skin, darker eye sockets, and piercing eyes that gave the impression that the original 𝓐𝓮𝓼 was gone. There was nothing left but a demonic shell. The new 𝓐𝓼 just kinda looks like a dude. And to be fair, that's what 𝓐𝓼 is. He's a dude. A very depressed dude. I look at the new 𝓐𝓼 and think to myself, yes, that's it. That's the guy. That's the guy who brought about the apocalypse because of his depression. That's the guy who called the great old one from his slumber because he couldn't live in a world without reinforced clubs. And the funny thing is, this 𝓐𝓼 doesn't actually need to look demonic at all because it's not 𝓐𝓼. It's a doppelganger. The real 𝓐𝓮𝓼 is this big pile of sludge lying inside the old one. The fake 𝓐𝓼 doesn't need to sell us on the idea that the real 𝓐𝓼's humanity is gone because we can see that at the end of the game. In the end, I think this is actually an improvement over the original 𝓐𝓮𝓼. And I wish some people would appreciate that! While the remake is different, it's not a disservice to the original masterpiece. If you like the remake, that's valid. If you like the atmosphere of the original, that's valid. It's not like either of these games is some kind of a flawless masterpiece. Sometimes the more atmospheric tone of the original didn't work. Sometimes the more bombastic tone of the remake doesn't work. Neither of these games have reinforced clubs. Now me personally, I hate Dark Souls. That's also valid. Everyone's valid.
Why did they change the male and female options to gender? Find it a bit odd. And the worst, devs always making cheap changes to already established media.
I take it back, not everyone is valid. You, shut the fuck up, no one cares.